There is something deeply emotional about waiting on God, praying for something, hoping for something, holding on to a promise, and wondering if the answer will ever come. For many people, the waiting season is long. It stretches your faith, it tests your patience, it challenges what you believe about God. But then something changes. The prayer is answered, the door opens, the breakthrough comes, and in that moment you realize something powerful. God was working all along. So what actually happens when God finally answers? The first thing that happens is clarity replaces confusion. During the waiting, nothing seems to make sense. You question the delay. You wonder why things didn't happen sooner. But when the answer comes, you begin to see what you couldn't see before. You realize that the timing mattered. The process mattered. The waiting had purpose. What once felt like confusion becomes clarity. The second thing that happens is gratitude replaces frustration. While you're waiting, it's easy to feel frustrated. You want things to happen faster. You don't understand the delay. But when God answers, your perspective changes. You're not focused on how long it took. You're grateful that it happened. You begin to appreciate not just the answer, but the journey that led to it. The third thing that happens is your faith grows stronger. When you see God come through, it builds your confidence in Him. You remember that He is faithful. You remember that He keeps His promises. You remember that He can be trusted even in the waiting. Answered prayers become reminders for future seasons. The next time you face uncertainty, you can look back and say, God did it before, and He can do it again. Another thing that happens is you realize the waiting was preparation. Often we think we were just waiting for God to act, but in reality, God was preparing us. He was strengthening your faith. He was shaping your character. He was getting you ready for what you asked for. If the answer had come earlier, you might not have been ready for it. God's timing is not just about the situation, it's about you. Another powerful truth is this: God's answer is often better than what you expected. Sometimes we pray for one thing, but God gives something greater because He sees what we don't see. He knows what we need, not just what we want. And when His answer comes, you realize that His plan was always better. But here's something important to understand. Sometimes God's answer looks different than we imagined. It may not come in the form you expected. It may not happen the way you planned. But that doesn't mean God didn't answer. Sometimes His answer is yes. Sometimes it's wait. And sometimes it's I have something better. And in every case, His answer is rooted in His love and wisdom. Another thing that happens when God answers is your testimony is created. Your story becomes something that can encourage others. The waiting you went through, the struggle you endured, the faith you held on to, it becomes a testimony of God's faithfulness. And your story may be the very thing someone else needs to hear. Finally, when God answers, you realize this truth. The answer was never just about the outcome. It was about the relationship. God didn't just want to give you something. He wanted to draw you closer to Him. He wanted you to trust Him, depend on Him, walk with Him. And through the waiting and the answer, your relationship with God deepens. So if you are still waiting right now, don't lose heart. Because when God finally answers, you will understand what you couldn't understand before. You will see what you couldn't see before, and you will realize that every moment of waiting had a purpose. God is not late, God is not silent, and God is not finished. Your answer may be closer than you think,